Hey everyone, it's Darby from Untitled Games. Today we'll be looking at things that were nerfed in Super Mario Maker 2, as well as some things that were made more challenging or perhaps changed altogether from the original games. Be sure to like the video if you enjoy it, and remember to sub and hit the notification bell so you know when new videos are released. Also, let me know some nerfs or changes that I don't mention in the comments below. Let's get started. First up, we have Super Mario Bros. 1. To start things off, let's check out the Goomba Speed. It appears as if the Goombas are unchanged, as well as the Koopa Troopas, who appear to be moving at the same speed in both games, and then finally the Piranha Plants are also unchanged, coming from a green pipe. But now let's take a look at the Fire Bar. We have our first nerf of the video. The Fire Bar in the original Mario Bros. Is a bit faster than the one in Mario Maker, making the one in Super Mario Maker 2 quite a bit easier. And while we're here in the castle, let's take a close look at Bowser. If you look closely, you can see that he shoots out less fireballs in the original game, which actually makes Super Mario Maker 2 Bowser a bit more challenging. Besides the obvious tighter controls of Super Mario Maker 2, it does appear as if bloopers behave a little bit different. They seem to chase Mario quite a bit faster in the original game, while in Super Mario Maker 2, Luigi is able to swim up nice and close, and the bloopers still don't hit him. A really huge change from the original game to Super Mario Maker 2 would be how the water sucks you down when there's no ground. In Super Mario Maker 2, it doesn't do this at all. You can basically moonwalk near these areas in the original game, while poor Luigi is left standing there bored in Super Mario Maker 2. This is a feature that I kinda wish they would have kept in the game. Out of water Cheep Cheeps have also been changed. They fly up high and come zipping down in the original game, which was pretty hard to dodge. Where in Super Mario Maker 2, they're just slightly flopping over the bridge. You can have wings to try to get them closer, but it's just not the same as having them sorta chase you from behind, coming from the left side of the screen crashing down. Hammer Bros seem to have been nerfed in Super Mario Maker 2. When you watch split screen, you can see the Hammer Bro throwing the hammers much faster in the original game. When you watch Luigi, the Hammer Bros in Super Mario Maker 2 just don't throw them quite as often, making them a little less annoying and a little bit nerfed in Mario Maker.
Mamma mia.
The infinite one-up trick is pretty tough to pull off in the original game. They made it a little easier in Super Mario Maker 2. It takes a little bit of practice to learn how to set it up, but once you've figured it out, you can do it almost every time, whereas in the original game, it was kind of hard for me to get most of the time. Another nerf in Super Mario Maker 2 is the length of time it takes to recover for a Koopa Troopa. If you watch side by side, you can clearly see that Koopa Troopas get up quite a bit quicker in the original game. That means it's actually easier in Super Mario Maker 2. Bowser was actually easier to defeat with the Fire Flower in the original game. It only takes very few fireballs to do so. Side by side, you can see it really takes a lot longer in Super Mario Maker 2, making him a bit more challenging in that game. Definitely not a nerf. The Lakitu, on the other hand, has been nerfed in Super Mario Maker 2. In the original game, even with a smaller screen, the Lakitu would easily throw down 4 Spinies before stopping. In Super Mario Maker 2, with a wide open screen, I could barely get the Lakitu to keep 2 Spinies on the screen at a time. Next up, let's look at Super Mario Bros. 3. One thing you've probably noticed is the star power-up lasts way longer in Super Mario Maker 2. See how short it is in the original game? When you watch them both in split screen, you can really tell that it lasts quite a bit longer in Super Mario Maker 2. Dry Bones are also nerfed a bit in Super Mario Maker 2, and Mario 3 you cannot kill them with your tail when having the Super Leaf power-up. However, in Super Mario Maker 2, you can smack and kill the Dry Bones with ease. Boos receive a pretty big nerf as well. In the original Mario 3, they move very, very fast, making them a challenging enemy and oftentimes more threatening. In Super Mario Maker 2, they are really, really, really slow. I know you can add wings, but even then they stutter a bit before they swoop in, which is still a nerf even in their hardest form in that game. Now with Boom Boom, it's quite the opposite. He is much easier in the original game. You can basically stomp him the second he gets back up. If you try this trick in Mario Maker, you will take damage, or if you don't have a power-up, you'll die. Be careful. A surprising nerf that I didn't notice initially was the Angry Sun. In the original game, it was actually more difficult, Watch the Angry Sun in Mario Maker. It'll swoop down, then it'll rest in the corner, it spins, then it attacks. It does this over and over. However, in the original game, the Angry Sun never rests. Once it starts attacking, it will swoop down, it'll make a little circle, it'll swoop down again. It does this over and over again, making it a bit more challenging, yet another nerfed enemy in Super Mario Maker 2. Another one of the biggest nerfs is our friend the Chain Chomp. This thing was so scary in the original game as a kid. The movement seemed unpredictable, it was fast. In this particular level, if you went for the power-up here, you would almost certainly die every time. It was a tough obstacle. However, in Super Mario Maker 2, they really nerfed the crap out of it. It's so easy to dodge, and mostly easy to predict its movements as well. It's a shame they got rid of the original scary Chain Chomps, even though they were scary. I miss them. Rocky Wrenches also received their own unique nerf. In the original game, they would endlessly respawn, making them quite tricky on some airships. In Super Mario Maker 2, however, you squash them once and they're gone forever. Easy peasy, lemon Luigi.
Oh no!
Another interesting change is the giant Koopa Troopas. Not only do they look a bit more unique in the original game, you could pick up their shells. This was a cool feature I was sad to see go. Don't try it in Mario Maker though, because you'll probably hit yourself in the face with the giant shell and die. Ceiling dropping spinies are also nerfed. In the original game, you couldn't jump on them. Even though the spikes were against the ground, you'd take damage. Well, that was weird. Okay, so normally you would take damage, but apparently hitboxes are pretty funny sometimes. Usually jumping on upside down spinning spinies will hurt you in Mario 3. It makes more sense in Super Mario Maker 2 where you can jump on them in this form. However, it also makes them a bit easier. Which do you prefer? I could probably go either way on this one. Alright, let's wrap things up with a few changes to Super Mario World. The first change I wanted to mention is the Boo Buddies, or Boo Circles as I like to call them. In the original game, it was quite a large circle having 10 ghosts. As you can see in Mario Maker, it's a tighter circle having only 8 boos. The speed of the circle seems to be about the same. I'm not sure why it was changed or which I prefer, as I personally don't really like boo circles anyways. Another big change in Super Mario World, you could spin on just about everything, even boos. In this instance, Mario Maker has actually made things a bit more challenging by limiting what items and enemies you can and cannot spin on. Avoid trying the boos in Mario Maker or you'll be taking damage pretty fast. Final change I'd like to mention is Magikoopas, also known as Kamek. In the original game, they were basically on crack, firing their magic at hyperspeed. It was tough to dodge and a very tricky obstacle. In Super Mario Maker 2, they are so much slower, so slow in fact that you can casually jog in front of them. One thing they did make harder is, like I mentioned before, you can spin on pretty much anything in Mario World, including the Magikoopa spells. However, in Mario Maker, if you try to do this, you will be damaged. Alright guys, this concludes my list of many things that were nerfed, made more difficult, or just changed in some way in Super Mario Maker 2. Let me know in the comments some things I didn't mention. Also be sure to like, sub, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join the BTG Discord for video and stream announcements. This is all in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you around.